his essence, didn't own a dime. Time to show the love back now that I'm in my prime. When your chick is full of drama, can you be Obama? Life is too precious, learn that from losing mama. Loving the skin I'm in that they capped about. This body butter got me shining, what they mad about? Or is it the harmony that we all can sing? More than a podcast, this is for the joy it brings. Words of wisdom to these young niggas. Don't be a pawn shop for the gold diggers. Anything worth cherishing is worth the wait. Allow your mind to catch your body, baby, this is fate. They hate me cause my harmony is melanated. I pray for a mistrial for the incarcerated. A true queen motivates her man with voice. That's a woman's empowerment, now let's all rejoice. They hate me cause my harmony is melanated. I pray for a mistrial for the incarcerated. A true queen motivates her man with voice. That's a woman's empowerment, now let's all rejoice.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Melanated Harmony. This is episode 3 of our panel, and we have some wonderful and amazing guests, people you haven't seen before. I'm still making it happen, y'all. Okay, so we're going to do our regular, we're going to start with our candles, and our guests are going to introduce themselves. Then we're going to jump into our conversation. Okay, and of course, ladies first.
All right. My candle says harmony. Harmony now radiates through my mind, my body, and emotions. I am magical, and I consume my entire being. I need my glasses on, but that's okay. I am calm, and I am relaxed, and I am at peace, and I am in harmony. I am the motivator Cash. I am honored to be here today from Richmond, California. I am an emotional intelligence consultant. I am a mediator here in the streets of Richmond. I am a mother of 2. I am a business owner, and I'm excited to be here with these young people today.
So, my candle is good health, y'all. Good health. I also need glasses, so I'm going to be. I believe the healing process. I believe the healing powers of the universe and all abilities to restore health. May these powers guide me to the state of complete wellness and being. Ooh, that's powerful right there.
That's powerful.
So, my name is Kat. I am the owner of Kat Fitness. I'm also one of the CEOs of Heal the Hood, one of the personalities on the Anything Can Happen show on 96.9 FM in Oakland. And I am just one of the community's educators when it comes to health and wellness. So, yeah.
Okay, let's see. I put my glasses on, y'all. Manifest a miracle. May I receive intercession from the Spirit to assist me in my time of need. Let me graciously recognize, accept, and appreciate those wondrous gifts received.
Come on.
That.
Yes.
I second that motion.
Yes, that's what we're working on. We manifested miracles.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And, okay, so before we get into the show, you guys, I want to say thank you, DMC, for our books, Daryl's Dream. Those of you who will come to our next event, I'm going to send out the information soon. We're still working out the details. We're going to be giving these out to the children and families. You must have a child.
Bring a little one with y'all.
Yes, you must bring the child with you, and we will be taking pictures because DMC has only requested that he get photographs of the children with the books to make sure that they are actually going to the children that they are intended for. So, follow the page and you'll find out when we're going to be giving these out. It will be a gift from Melanated Harmony and DMC himself.
Come on. That's beautiful.
That's how you help the hood, y'all. Okay, so today's conversation, we're going to talk a little bit about community. I thought of this topic because I'm a little confused as to why certain things are and are not happening around me. So I thought that I would ask my guests their opinions on community. What does support look like? How do you show support? What does it feel like when people show you support? It's a very important thing. and the importance of being a big part of your community.
Good.
So, first thing, what does community look like to you? When someone says the word community, what does that say to you?
Well, to me, community is a safe haven. It can be built up of many different parts. The elderly, which could mean strength. The youth, which could be the feistiness. Combining those things together with education and food. Community could be an array of things. Here in Richmond, community to me it doesn't always have to be who or where you were born at or who you were born with. Community can be what you've built with someone else, relationships, you know what I'm saying, engagement. We've just started our own community here on this panel, which is one of the dopest things because you never know where community is going to come from, right?
I love that.
So, yeah, that's basically it for me.
Community, I feel like, is the tribe you surround yourself with, wherever you at in your own particular journey.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have a community of people that I work out with. I have a community of people that we go into the community and provide meals and produce and resources as well. So all those things, you can have separate communities, separate tribes that execute certain missions in your life. So depending on what you're looking to achieve, that is that community for that time and moment.
Oh, I like that. I like how you use the word tribe because we use that a lot around here. Little background. Melanated Harmony was formed because I was on a podcast called How Do You View You, which was formed because of OCAR and the DART Network. DART Network is our production company, but OCAR stands for Our Community as a Resource.
Mm.
So under that umbrella, we have multiple podcasts and multiple organizations that try to do just what we're doing here and what we try to do, what you're trying to do in your businesses as well.
Mm-hmm.
So this is why we're here today. So next question. What kind of events do you look for to build that networking or community spirit?
Most of the events that I look for to build community spirit are with the schools, the elderly community centers, going out and seeing what people need. We need the support. You know, you can always give people music and dance and different things like that, but you really want to give people what they really need. Most of the times, people don't often want to ask for what they need. We'll ask for what we want. And so those type of events where we can give people what they need oftentimes are more successful for us. Just like the books, the kids are going to get the books and they are going to be something that's going to transcend with them for the rest of their lives because they can relate to it, right? It's going to incorporate the music. It's going to have the life story, the story of a hero. So those type of community events for me are the most successful, and those are the ones that are most heart-touching for me. I'm a big kid.
So can you repeat the question one more time so I make sure I answer it to the best of my ability?
Well, what kind of events like catch your eye, and what kind of things do you find are like most beneficial to the community?
Yeah.
And you know,
The events that catch my eye are events that are in alignment with the things that I'm currently doing. Because I feel like when I go out, say for instance, I'm in the fitness world, right? So I like to go see, like when it's a event for fitness or wellness, health, holistic health, I want to go see what other people are doing in the community because we can connect, we can put events together. They could do something that sparks something inside of me, like, oh dang, I didn't even look at it like that. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, that could be something that I add to our next event or something that I do. But always feeding off the energy of something that I have going on right now is mostly the type of events that I'm looking for, because I feel like if I'm moving in that particular direction, I want to build more momentum. Mm. And by going to events that fuel that, it helps me excel myself, and then excelling myself and excel those people around me. Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I attended, this is not really a community event, but the African American Council at Elsford High School. There's I forget the acronym, but there's a board for African American students, and it's a parent board. They want the parents to come out and say, this is what we need for our children, and hold the schools accountable. And it was interesting to me because kids are grown, don't have any children in high school, but I have a friend who does.
Yeah.
So me being who I am, she's like, I have this meeting coming up, and I need support. I'm there, even if it's just I'm going to record on my Instagram or Facebook so other people who couldn't be there can see it. But it's like we're trying to figure out, how do we get these parents to come so they can be the support system that their children need, not find out stuff when it's too late. Because
Be more
I remember when my
instead of
kids, I remember
reactive.
when my kids was in high school and younger and stuff. You find out about picture day on picture day in the morning,
Everything last minute.
Everything, all the, like, oh, you ran out of the lunch money on your card last week, and now there's a bill, and I got to give you more money today. All that stuff. So it's like, how do we get parents to be engaged in the beginning so they know what's to be expected, especially like for seniors, parents of seniors, all those different things that they have to come up with and pay for. You need to know that in August.
Start budgeting and everything.
Yes,
ready
especially
for
in our community. So it's just like, it dawned on me. I'm like, what is it that our community needs to see and hear so that we know to show up, so that we can better prepare our children for the next step. So I just, it's interest. I'm curious. Like, I have no idea. I do not know the answer. This is why I'm asking these questions. I'm curious to know is how we can get our people to come show up, not show out, but come show up.
They need to show up and show out.
I mean, I'm gonna start with show up. But, I would love. It's like to see, because you get the parents who come out, of course, because I was one of those parents. Your child's in a play or they're playing sports, you're going to come out. But the child that's not into those extracurricular activities, how do you get those parents to engage with the school and the community at large?
I would say having a time where making it mandatory for the parent to volunteer X amount of hours up at the school to get to know what's going on.
But should you have to make it mandatory?
I mean, to prep people to start doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm only asking that because 4 kids, one of them went to private school, everything was mandatory. And crab sales, whatever that thing, if you didn't sell those tickets, you was paying for that. So I don't necessarily know if that's the thing for our lower income families, because some of them can't afford to cash out if they can't put the time in. So I feel like not necessarily mandatory. I feel like as a parent you should want to, and you should figure out how.
What you got for us, Cash?
No, I just want to add on to that because both of you guys are hitting it on the nail. You just saying it different ways. It has to be a choice. It has to be a conscious choice that I'm going to sacrifice some of my time and my energy and effort to go see about my child. That's why we're losing so many kids to the streets now, because we just allowing so much and anything to happen, whether it be mandatory or it be voluntary. We have to get up and go out there and say, this is what I want for my child. It can be intimidating because you may not have the resources, the money, you may not know where you're going to get it from. But if you show up, there it is again, community. You never know what's going to happen because it can happen for you. You know what I mean? It doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. So I just say people have to start making some choices. If you're going to lead by example with your kids, make the necessary choice. Make a commitment. I'm going to give this so much time every month to find out what's going on about what's happening at school. I may not be the most efficient person on the computer or when it comes to reading or whatever it may be that's enabling me from participating productively for my children, but I'm going to make an effort. And so if I show up they'll show out for me.
Yeah.
Yes,
And I was going to also, sorry to
No.
cut you off, but like having like an itinerary, like something that the school year, like all the things that are going on throughout the school year, having like either a link or a website or something that they give out to let parents know, hey, we need volunteers, or we need you to come to at least 1 to 2 events a year. And you come out, just like Cash said, come out and then just be involved and understand what's going on in the school system prior to just getting the information at the last minute and then like, oh, I didn't know this was going on. What is all this?
exactly.
And
Because
feeling overwhelmed.
because I want to say, I think it's the African American Parent Council, and the thing is we want our children to have the benefits that every other child has.
Yeah.
Because other nationalities, they form their communities and their alliances, and the schools know not to mess with their children. It's like they have their extracurricular activities that are funded by these outside agencies that are for their culture. And us as a people, we don't necessarily have that. So we need to figure out how we can provide that extra support that other nationalities are providing their children. But first, we got to get these parents involved. And that I'm just curious as to what you guys think is needed, or like what has worked in the past to get people to come out to different events and gatherings and show support. Because it's like it's even hard to get some people on a Zoom call. It's like you could be at home on your phone. Like,
You've seen the text message. Yeah.
When you look at the urgency of some of the other community collectives that are being ran and organized from some of the other geographics, look at what's fueling them. They're getting up from, we had this situation as well. It's 6 or 7 people living in a 1-bedroom. And everyone knows what the obligation is. The objective is go to school, get your education, so that while it's free, because mind you, it's free here, right, at this moment, right?
Yeah.
This is the country of freedom and liberty, where everything is free. They're taking advantage of that, and they're utilizing it to the best of their ability. We need to prioritize. We really need to prioritize and come up with a strategy and start absolutely putting it to work every day, not just on the weekends or once a month. We have to start showing up. If it's important to us, we have to start showing up for what's valuable to us. Again, the value.
Yeah, creating value of education. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know, even as parents graduating from high school, the valuable things that high school can teach you, and the things that, or school in general, can teach you and it doesn't teach you.
Yes.
Right? And where it doesn't teach our kids, we need to step in and fill that void.
Absolutely.
And creating those activities, just like you said, like having, I know at my son's school, it was like a BSU, Black Student Union program. And it's funny because we had some pushback last school season because the kids were putting together a play. And it was after February, Black History Month. So some of the teachers at that school was like, well, it's not Black History Month. Why do, what I'm saying? Like getting pushback like that.
Me in your face.
Yeah.
we can only celebrate that 1 month a year, y'all.
Yeah,
28
exactly.
days
So
out of the
why
year.
does it have to be only this, right? So that's where a lot of parents start stepping in like, hold on, why can't our kids have access to the theater or these other resources when it's not Black History Month, right? Why are we limited to only certain resources during a certain time of year? So that's when parents' involvement is really important, because they're only going to listen to our kids so much until we come together as parents and families and stand up to the school district and say, hey, this is not right. Why are these teachers even saying that to these kids? Like putting them into a box.
Yeah, what mindset is that?
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it really happened. Like, they got pushback. These kids was doing something positive, wanting to put together this play, and they got pushback from the staff of the school. Right? So better understanding the people that we have up at the school. That's why I said volunteering so many hours if you can. If you had an itinerary of different activities and different things going on throughout the year, saying like, okay, I know I can't make it to this, but I definitely can make time to go to one of these other activities throughout the year so I can make change and build relationships too. How many of us have relationships with people up at the school anymore?
I think that's the most important thing, your presence, and
Oh,
letting them
because-
know that your child is not a throwaway.
Oh, because that would mean you would have to become accountable, and you would have to show up.
Exactly.
Oh, not show out, show up. Okay, there's a difference. So, it goes back to just like you guys were saying, we're retraining our mind so that our actions can be better. So that what our kids see us doing on a normal, everyday basis, they'll start picking that routine up because we've already given them the confidence that this is possible for you. Yeah. And you don't have to go anywhere just always running around and cussing and fighting. And, there's a way that you can make your point and stand your ground without all of that. We all got some cousins that can do that. We could call on, we can get that done as well. But wouldn't it be more effective as if we came together with a plan, just like this beautiful tree on this table? If we came together and everybody had a position to play, and we were stronger together.
And play to your strengths.
Your strength.
Everybody has their own particular strength. So if you good at, for example, speaking and putting together podcasts and everything like you are, right? You could be part of the public speaking, the kids that want to do public speaking and after school programs, and show them, having a student in here while we doing the show and everything, to show them how to set up the cameras or how to game plan for a podcast or anything like that, and having those extra school activities that kids are interested in that they're going to involve themselves into, to show them that it's a different way you can do it.
Yeah, we're working on trying to do some classes for the community. We're still trying to get the logistics together, and once again, the interest. We're trying to figure out how to market it and get the kids who want to do it, like the connection. We're trying to figure out where to find them or figure out how to let them know that we're here. So, we work with a couple different agencies. Like we work with the Rice Center, and a lot of independent production people, and like we got people who want to be comedians and actors that they did release the movie.
It'll be overflowed with kids pretty soon.
Oh,
You're not gonna know where to put them. They're gonna be hanging out.
I mean, all this kind of stuff, the podcast market and YouTube, all that's the wave of the future.
This is where it's going. Absolutely.
So, I know we did our Heal the Hood event, right? And I had a couple of the kids from my son's school, from the Black Student Union, come out and volunteer, right? And just exposing the kids at the event to different things. Like we had a food truck, a Black-owned food truck out there providing 300 free meals, right? And one of the kids, one of my son's friends, looked at it and was like, dang. He was like, I want to own my own restaurant one day, but I never thought about having a food truck. So he had the opportunity to walk up to them and say, hey, how much does a food truck cost, right? And she was like, oh, you could get you a food truck for $40,000-$50,000. He's like, that's it? He's like, I could do that.
But he was able to touch it.
Exactly.
He was able to experience it.
That's it.
We have to start putting those scenarios in front of our children that other people's children were born into.
Exactly.
Not to cut you off, I'm sorry.
No. You did it. That's 100%. And just little things like that, because exposing that kid to that environment, I saw on the car ride home him create a whole business plan.
Come on.
He said, all I got to do, he said, I could go up to Contra Costa. He said, I could get, what's the thing where you get certified for being a cook?
The first food.
He said, I could go up to CC, take culinary arts, get certified as a cook, and then all I got to do is come up with $50,000 and give me a truck, and I could get started.
Probably get you a loan.
Yeah, he said, I could do that.
And
he said, man. I'm watching him in the back seat talk it all out in his head. And it was just him being at that event, just like you said, being exposed.
That spark.
Yeah. So the more of us that have these different platforms in our community, whatever we may be doing, reaching out to the schools and the different organizations in our community, letting them know that we have some kind of mentorship.
Yes.
Bringing them in and watching us how we put these things together. I feel like would also get us involved back into the community and making sure the kids are finding different niches. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so many different things out there. It's just getting them exposed to it. Yeah.
I agree. I think the exposure is one of the things that lasts through generations. And the reason we were exposed to things because we had older people saying, come on out here in the garage with me and work on this car.
Yeah.
Come in the kitchen and cook with me.
Yeah.
Learn how to feed yourself. It's time to go in the garden. So we were exposed to different things that we may not be accustomed to now, or we may not be offered. So doing those things, I think in the mentorship, apprenticeships, it'll circle back into where we need to be, and that's right at home base, the schools. Inside, the kids got to get off of the phones. They got to get off of the social media. We have to get in
Unless
their
they're
faces.
coding.
That's my girl. She's right. That's imperative. That's
more kids
important.
doing that.
Absolutely. So, and once we start challenging them where they are, then they'll begin to see that we still have interest in them. You're not showing up at school as a parent, that means you're not interested in what I'm doing. That's just what that reads as our children are trying to go further. That's exactly. If my mom is not showing up for me, if my dad is not showing up for me,
really care.
who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
So we got to go back and address that. And in order for them to start caring, we can't keep on putting a crutch in front of people. We have to start letting people walk on their own, because you get up and walk and do everything else you're big enough to do. Let's be real. Let's be real. You go to the concerts, you go pick up your shoes when they're ready, you go to the market when the meat is ready, you're on these dates, you're getting your hair done. Let's be real. So what's important?
You got time, you just got to make the time.
You got to make the time.
Yeah.
What's
You got the
important
time.
for you when you're making the time for your children? You gave them life, you almost gave your life up, giving them life, bringing them into the world. We need you to stay the course and continue nurturing them. And if you don't have that in you, let some people get around you that can give you those supportive services.
Yes, that's the important thing. Build your community. Because like I said, I go to the parent meeting. All my kids grown. But but it's valuable information. And just being at that parent meeting, it was like they were talking about things. And I'm like, oh, I know something about that. If you're having problems, you can call Adams Esquire. They're educational attorneys. If your kid's not getting what they need, you call those people, and they charge on an income-based scale. Because I know when I needed them 20 years ago, it was $1. So, and they gave me my $1 back when my case was settled. Because I went after the school district about my kid because they're good for suspending our children and sending them home, and then they're falling behind, and you want to know why? Because they wasn't at school. So you got a kid that already wants to cut school, and then you're suspending them too. Who's winning?
Exactly.
So we need to find alternatives from suspending our children, and I feel like, for me, once the school gets to know you as a parent, they're less likely to just suspend your child. They're going to try and work with that child. Well, they were having a bad day, so we pulled them over here. And, instead of just sending them home, I sent them to another classroom with a teacher that child has a better relationship with. They'll do that when they know somebody cares.
I remember back in the day, they would just call my pops. Like, my pops was up there. So he was volunteering. He had time to volunteer, so he volunteered. And then anytime I got out of line, and I was in that office, they was calling pops. They was like, hey, we got your son in the office, X, Y, and Z just happened. And it was a whole different kind of like experience. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, don't call my pops.
Yeah, my kids had that. My kids had a principal when they went to Mira Vista. That oldest one, I tell y'all. Her principal would put her in the car and drive her to me at work.
Oh, man.
Yeah, come on.
It's a difference.
But you had a relationship.
Exactly.
You
had that relationship.
And after we had our conversation with the belt, and she had a few minutes to calm down, she went back to school for the rest of the day. Educators don't do that. They don't. I don't know if that's because they don't want to, they can't, whatever. That one-on-one, sometimes they have to do that for these babies. every child is not the same. Some of them you don't have to say nothing to. I say this about my clients at work. Some of my clients I have no issues. If I say turn in these papers in 10 days, sign, no problem. Other clients on the 11th day, I didn't even come pick them up. So every child is different, so you're gonna have to motivate them all differently and try to. But I feel like if I can avoid being punitive, it's a wonderful thing. But some kids don't respond to, they need that extra, just like some parents need that extra if you don't do, which is why you were saying making it a requirement, because then if they don't fulfill those parent hours, what happens?
They was taking them people to jail, right?
Well, that's
if they was tardy, if they was truant.
Yes, but for a school that has like, I think my kid's school was like 20 parent hours, and then you had to sell like 20 tickets to the crab feed or something, and I think it was like $20 or $25 an hour if you didn't do it.
That you had to donate or you had to pay for it.
Yeah, because the kid went to Salesians. That
but that holds a certain amount of accountability.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? That just putting that in place says, okay, if I don't want to pay this $200 or whatever it come out to bill at the end of the year for my for my child,
I'm gonna show up.
I'm gonna show up. That's it. And by you showing up, then you get to see all the other things going on behind the scenes, building those relationships, doing what you need to do. But it has to start somewhere, especially if the parent's not going to be accountable for him or herself initially. So.
Also, can I add on to this? When you were speaking about the relationship and building, the relationship you have with your child's principal was a different type of caliber. We're living in a different type of world now.
Oh, yeah.
Where these kids are cussing and fussing and spitting and kicking and doing all kind of things they can to these teachers because they're being resistive, and there's other things going on that's adding on to that behavior that we as a family, as a community, need to get to the root of. But the thing about it is the teachers don't have the capacity to love in the teaching form anymore because their tolerance has depreciated. It's just diminished into nothing because they're feeling underpaid, underappreciated. They can't get anything across to the kids. So when we're talking about getting into schools and really getting to the root of the problem, we're up against some spiritual things that are manifesting in the physical form with our kids. A lot of these other kids aren't going to school and doing the stuff that I'm seeing on TV, or even when I go to the community, when I go to EC and I talk to the boys, some of the stuff that they're doing, the other kids are not doing. So we have to hold ourselves accountable for that type of stuff too, because we're allowing it to go on. We're not putting a stop to it, and it's making us feel like we're not doing a good job. My son was at EC, and I didn't know, and I was ashamed. I did not know until the last minute about what needed to happen for the Black Student Union that year. No matter if it was a pandemic or whatever it was, the emails came through the day of. They didn't have staff, people to work with them, volunteer. So what do? What kind of resolution how can we be a solution? Because my kids is out of school too. I got a little way to go, but honey, it's But
so we suggested, of course, the social media stuff, but at the same time, the school has to be on board and the parents have to be on board, and y'all got to work together, and that's for any school. And there's an African American parent committee that I think is like for the whole school district as well. I think all the little individual ones are supposed to work together. That way when they go to the board, it's not me and my 2 friends. It's me and my 22 friends from all 22 schools. You got somebody from every school in your district saying, this is what we want for our babies.
Yeah.
That's different than me saying, hey,
I'm only laughing because I just got the email for the Black Student Community West Contra Costa. I just got it yesterday for the Black Families picnic to try and get it together for what needs to happen in the community. I literally just got it last night.
Come on. You heard it here first.
And see, when is that supposed to be? Tell everybody.
Yeah, that's breaking news right there.
Hammy, I'll tell you the exact date on the sailor device because I thought it was such a late. I thought it was such a late email. Like,
Excuse
it's
me,
holiday
producer, can you hand her her
weekends
phone
and
so she
different
can give
things,
us-
and people have other plans, and so a lot of times
But this is what we're
the
saying.
moms are working. You don't know my passcode.
This is what we're saying, though. We need to find a better way to
Yeah.
network this information so we can be there to obtain valuable information and share this information so that our children, one, will learn how to grandkids and great grandkids are not having this same battle, because that's where I'm at now. My grandson's 9. Hopefully he won't go through the same craziness that I had to go through with my kids, but it's a process. We're working on it. That's what Melanated Harmony and OCAR and the Dart Network are doing, and that's why we bring people like you guys on, so we can promote the beauty that is us.
You guys are dope.
We love
Yeah,
it.
I love it.
We're really trying to work together, and I want to thank you guys and welcome you to the Dart Network and to OCAR. It's not an occult, but it's tribe life. We don't need to sit at their table because we built our own.
That's
Awesome.
That's it.
Awesome. I love it. Thank you for having us, the city of Albany.
See, and
Might
this
just
is the
have to
kind.
hit that search bar.
Yes, and this.
The search at the top.
Oh, yes. You young. That's why I have a whole bunch of you young people.
This is our home base, and we do what we can for our babies here. Specifically, we start with El Cerrito High because, Juanita and the Black Parent Resource Center. That's another
So I
thing.
just met-
We're going to do a fundraiser because we're trying to get shock helmets for the seniors, and then we're going to work our way down. We want to get it for them because, it doesn't make sense that the boys are playing and they don't have the best equipment. So we're going to be working with Juanita and the Black Parent Resource Center and El Cerrito High and try to get some shock helmets for the boys.
Well needed.
Yes.
Yeah. Making sure they safe out there.
I want this to happen. I want that to happen for the children.
We working on it.
Because I had to pay $400 and some for a helmet for my son.
See.
And what he did was he gave somebody,
Donated.
whoever, the little boy who needed it for his year, he just bought the padding. And then, they sanitized it and passed it down. So maybe we can go to, like, some of the training camps for the Raiders, the 49ers, and ask them, can they donate some of the gently used helmets to the guys at the school? And then, maybe the guys can come and do, like, some training.
I was going to say, or even going to the organization, like those companies, and saying, hey, can we get some kind of discount or something, or so many donated for these kids in this community, because they have to write stuff off too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you something off there. But
We gonna try every avenue.
yes, we are
knock
going
on every
to
door
cheer
we
for you
can.
guys
Come on.
to-
Who do we need
go
to talk
ahead
to
and
over
do
here?
that.
Who do we need to write an email?
Exactly.
That's it.
So this was a math mixer. It won't come up. It's telling me to try again because I don't know if I'm having internet service in this building here again. But this is to say, the message was August 31st. The mixer was to be for August 4th. September 4th.
Yeah.
So
4 days
not-
out.
Yes,
It's
so
time.
it's no time to prepare or to even, some parents need childcare, transportation, not to make excuses, but these are some of the elements that you're going up against when you're dealing with people who aren't in position for the win just yet.
Exactly.
So, we just have to consider those things.
We agree. Well, if you come to the African American Parents Council meeting at El Cerrito, we usually have snacks and your children are welcome. So, in closing, once again,
Aw.
please let people know how they can contact you.
Awesome. I'm the Motivator Cash on Instagram. I'm the Motivator Cash on Facebook. I am Kashinda Wilson on Facebook as well if you need to get with me intimately for accountability, counseling, encouragement, motivation. I am also on TikTok. I just got me a TikTok. I'm super proud of myself. If you guys need me, I'm always available to you guys. info@themotivatorcash.com. Look for me soon. The Motivator will be having her own radio segment. That's it for now. That's it.
Good. You can find me, your man Cat, on IG, Cat Fitness 3, Cat Fitness 3 on TikTok, and Facebook, Cat Fitness. And then our YouTube channel is Heal the Hood. So you can also find us on YouTube at Heal the Hood. Our mission in the community is to make sure that we look at our health from a holistic standpoint, mind, body, and spirit, making sure that, you touch on all aspects of it. You can't just focus on one aspect of your life and think that you're going to be healed, and understand that healing and wellness is a lifelong journey.
Yeah.
There is no finish line. Just because you lost the weight, you have to maintain it. Just because you cleared your mind, or you're better thinking, that it's a daily process of promoting that mental health every day. What are you feeding your mind? What are you feeding your spirit every single day? So that's what we're all about.
And little old me, Sincere from Melanated Harmony, YouTube, Facebook. I got a TikTok too.
We all TikToking these days.
Yeah, I don't know how to use it. I think I might have posted one or two things, but we'll get. We're growing.
We're growing. That's it.
We're all doing more and more every day.
I like it.
And we're building our community. And once again, welcome to OCAR and the Dart Network. And we will see you guys soon. Make sure you follow us.
Awesome. Thank you.